Hi, your host, Sarah Mack here, and today I'm going to share my story with you of how I went from burnout to bliss by building a 5-figure month coaching business from scratch. So, I birthed my business in the middle of a massive, giant, humongous burnout, which, if you have been following me for a while, you've probably heard this story or some parts of it here and there. And I'm so excited for this episode because I get to dive into two of my absolute favorite topics to talk about, which are money and energy management. And my business was really the space for me to learn about how to be better at these two things. So, and now many clients come to me either amidst a burnout or heading towards a burnout, working way too much, not really listening to and acting on the aligned desires that are calling them to make the change, and not really trusting their intuition to, well, they are, but they're ready to take that to a higher level because they've decided that they're going to go in and do that and take the action to make the changes, to be working in more sustainable and nourishing and fun and aligned ways, while also hitting bigger goals in the meantime. So just know this, whatever it is that you are dreaming of creating, your new path and new income streams can unfold so quickly when we give ourselves permission to follow those hunches. And I'm going to share my story with you today so you can see exactly why I believe that and know that to be true. So I started out as an entrepreneur just after I had finished my master's degree in film studies at Concordia University in Montreal. And I had been working on film crews for about 8 years at that point. I started out in TV in Manchester, and then I worked on some films in London, and then I moved out to Vancouver in BC in Canada. And I was working on a lot of small productions, documentary productions, big Hollywood movies, and car commercials. a lot of commercial commercial productions in film crew in various different positions. And I'd been working really, really long days. I would generally only work for the summer, and then I would been doing my master's during the winter. So I would hustle, work, 18, I even did a 24-hour day, which my partner now does almost every week, and it blows my mind. But back then, that was pretty traumatic for me. And my body didn't have the capacity to be able to do that. And beyond that, I just didn't like that lifestyle because I felt it was very difficult for me to commit to consistently other things that I wanted to be cultivating in my life, like relationships and creative hobbies and creative projects and taking care of my health. And it all came crashing down when my body couldn't cope anymore, and I was getting 6 p.m. headaches, and I didn't really know what was going on. I had some digestive issues, I had severe depression, and loads of things that were going on that suddenly became the top priority for me to deal with. So I knew I wanted to be location independent. I knew I didn't want to work in film crews for the rest of my life. I knew I wanted something different. I didn't really know what that was, but I knew I wanted to do it online, and I knew I wanted to make money online. I thought this was going to take me such a long time to transition to, and that I would have to take a degree in digital marketing or online marketing or whatever. And out of the blue, one of my friends invited me to work on their business out in Bali in Indonesia. So I put all my stuff in storage. I was like, this is a breadcrumb that's leading me to just the digital entrepreneurial community. So I knew that there was something for me there. So I took it and I went. And even though that business opportunity kind of all fell apart when I was there, I met some writers. And I'd been helping my friend with social media and editing video and uploading to YouTube and helping with copy on their website. And that's when I really kind of discovered that I was good at that. And I met a couple of other writers who were out there doing the digital nomad thing, asked them a bunch of questions, and figured out when I was there that I was actually a writer. I'd never even considered that as part of my identity before. But I realized that that was a skill that I had that I was able to help people with and bring value to others with, and that I could make money with. So I went out there in October by January, I'd already figured this out, and I'd left and gone to India to live somewhere where the cost of living was very, very low, and I could do yoga and meditate and spend time in the beautiful Himalayan mountains up in Rishikesh, and really just give myself some time, not only to recover my health, but also to start building out my business and getting clients, as back then I was working as an editor. So that's where it all began. So it unfolded very, very quickly, considering I never considered myself as a writer. And by January, I was already launching my new business as a writer or as an editor. And that unfolded to pretty much a full-time income by April of that following year. So, and that year following that, I replaced my income that I'd been earned the previous year, working in film crews. But this time I had so much more freedom. I had freedom to take naps. I had freedom to take care of my health. I had freedom to do yoga whatever time I wanted. I had freedom to pick up a guitar and, play and really do the things that my soul was craving, that I really had to put on a shelf while I was working on film crews for 18 hours a day. So from that point, I proceeded to shift and to up-level and replace the kind of work I was doing with work that was more and more aligned, more fun, better paid, and that gave me even more freedom by really navigating around my strengths, my desires, and all the time up-leveling my belief that I could have what I wanted in terms of income, schedule, types of clients, types of work contracts, and really that I could have the vision of a life with a business that I loved and that allowed me to do all the things that I wanted in life, and to really believe that that vision was actually possible. And a couple years later, after I'd built my copywriting business, Juicy Copy, I launched my coaching business and basically used that same strategy of tweaking, shifting, launching new offers and income streams, raising my prices, getting really clear and specific on the types of clients I was most excited to work with. And I continued to apply that with my coaching business, which then allowed me to let go of writing altogether. And now obviously I support other entrepreneurs with their messaging and their content strategy, money mindset, energy management, all the things that got me to where I am now. And I do that through scalable coaching programs, which gives me even more time freedom. So I did it. It happened. And I'm continuing to do it. I'm continuing to grow my freedom, grow my fulfillment, and grow my income in super, super fun and expansive ways, aligned with what I desire most from my business and from my life. And, I had zero investment behind me, had no trust fund. All I had was a bunch of credit cards, and pretty much that was really just, covering my living when I was in India, in that little gap in between my career change, because I was already completely broke from being a master's student and having graduated the summer before. And so I started working with coaches for free, like coaches who were training and needed their hours to get their certification. And I kept on doing that. And then I, invested in low cost courses, and really everything that I was investing was money that I was already making once I started earning an income as a writer. And I'm a big believer in getting paid to learn and getting paid to grow, and, building and evolving as you are helping people along the way and getting paid for it. So that's really how I built my business from scratch. And then as I increased my income, I was, increased in my capacity to invest back into my education, into mentorship, into building out my skills and my expertise so that I could perform at a higher level. And then once I had created those results for myself, I was obviously able to support my clients at higher and higher levels as well, and shift my messaging and my focus accordingly as I've grown every single year since I started back in, that was the beginning of 2015. So, sometimes, and I've seen this with my clients, sometimes all it takes is one new client at a new price point to let go of work that, has been very time consuming or has just been very energetically draining because it's simply not aligned with where you really feel you're meant to be serving at and working from. or we're simply launching one course where you can teach many more people with 1 hour of your time than, delivering work one-to-one. So this brings us to money mindset, because this is really the journey that has allowed me to build out the way that my business has ended up. And it's really been about incremental shifts. Incremental shifts are just the best place to work with, a mind who can be fearful, who can be doubtful, who's trying to prove something that we've never done before, and really allowing our nervous system to grow and expand and evolve with us without kicking into mega resistance or, self-sabotage or traumatic triggering. So clients, when they come to work with me, will start out with like their first $1,000 in business and making that through a course or a private client, or it could be making their first 6-figure year through a combination of existing income streams and by introducing fun, scalable, and aligned ones with the intention to fully let go of the existing income streams that they're ready to move on from, but building out those new ones, obviously, first. And this journey is really, for me, it has been about building trust in myself to create and receive the money that I desire, and to prove that that's possible in more and more fun and more aligned ways by simply setting that as the goal and taking action to create that. I simply, for me, it was literally, I started out at $5 writing gigs, and then, gradually increased my hourly rate as I obviously improved my skills and my efficiency with being able to deliver the work, to earning hundreds of dollars an hour. And I did it $5 extra at a time, $50 extra at a time, an extra $1,000 at a time, an extra $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, or $10,000 extra at a time. But I started off with those really small increments as I built my trust in my capacity to create change financially. And this whole journey is about building trust. It's about finding the path of least resistance to edge and create a next level result, to bring in the money in more aligned and fun and exciting ways, and saying yes to more and more fun opportunities, and saying no to more and more of the things that zap your energy. Because this is really what energy management is about, is as much as it is saying yes to the things that fill us up and that light us up and that energize us, it's equally as important to start saying no and letting go and walking away from the things that drain our energy. And it's about creating space. So saying no and creating space on your calendar for the new things to come in, and also creating space by increasing our capacity. Because one of the features of burnout is being busy all the time, right? And I've definitely been there creatively, and I see a lot of clients in this position too, where, I've always been very lit up and inspired and excited by many different types of creative activities. And I've often said yes to many things at once. And there was a point in my business where, I was writing a book, I was learning guitar, I was working as a copywriter, I was, building out my own business and my own marketing content and website. And there's only so much creative juice that we have in a day. And so really learning to strategically choose the things that in the long term will give back the most in terms of fulfillment, freedom, and, creative expression and creative fulfillment and enjoyment. So it's very important to create that space, right? That's non-negotiable. If we want to start bringing in new ways of bringing in money, new income streams, and more money and more clients, and being able to say yes to those opportunities, we have to have the space to be able to welcome them in. So saying no to things. I stopped writing the book, and I was like, I will write this book when I can take a month off later. It's not priority. It's not moving the needle forward to where I most desire to be ASAP. And then the other piece is creating space by increasing our capacity. So we can do this by increasing our fitness levels mentally, emotionally, and physically through things like diet and exercise, up-leveling the quality of our relationships and setting boundaries, doing emotional healing work, and really committing to deeper levels of self-care and listening and providing for our deepest needs so that we're not leaking energy all throughout the day and on the things that we're saying yes to and the people and the relationships and the activities that maybe aren't really necessarily moving us towards the vision of our dream life and business. We can also increase our capacity by adding more fun things to our schedule that really energize and uplift us. Because I've also experienced the opposite, where I've created so much space for myself that becomes draining because it's just me and my thoughts. And, not having the energy or the inspiration to channel into, the priorities and the desires and the projects that really light me up and that I enjoy having energy for. So, making sure that things are on our schedule, like social time with people who really energize us when we spend time with them, things to bring in inspiration, and really fill up our cup so that we have something to work with. And removing all the shit that drains us. So stop doing it, start saying no if stuff doesn't make you feel good in your body. And here's the thing, the more we start saying yes to things that feel really good, the more we start leaning into desire, the better it feels, the better it feels, the better it feels, the more obvious it becomes when something doesn't feel good. And that contrast becomes very, very obvious. And it becomes easier to start saying no because our tolerance levels have gone down for stuff that doesn't feel good. So start saying no unapologetically and delegating or totally removing things from your schedule. And alternatively, shifting your mindset around stuff that has to get done that can't be removed from your schedule, but maybe isn't necessarily your happy place. So the process that has got me there to each iteration of even more fun, even more freedom, even more money, has been focus on the goal I truly desire, which I've always had a very clear numerical income goal that I connect with every single day. And I continue to connect with it until I hit it. And I trust that I will always hit it. So if you don't fully trust you have the capacity to hit your income goal, set a smaller one and set a tiny one. Give yourself $1 extra, $10 extra, and hit it this week. And then next week, put it up a little bit. And then next week, put it up a little bit more until you have noticed that this process does work. Even if you have no flipping idea how you're going to bring that extra money in, if you give yourself permission to focus on that money goal, you focus on it every day, you connect to it, you continue to take action towards that goal, and you give yourself permission for the action that you take and the ways in which you choose to generate that goal can be fun ones that you are genuinely excited about, then you get to prove that process can work for you by following the path of least resistance with the way that you truly believe it's possible. And then you get to start stretching your faith with things that maybe seem a little bit out of reach or like they would be a total dream come true for you. Give yourself permission to go for it and keep going for it until it's your reality. Shift your mindset until you believe it's possible. Commit to the story. Keep taking action, keep committing to the story, and you will get there. And take action as if it's possible. Don't take action as if you set the goal, but you don't really fully believe that it's possible. Really identify what that action plan looks like, one step at a time, that if you fully believed it was possible, you would take that action today. And it will become your reality. It really is that simple. So I hope that you have found inspiration to move forward towards your next level income goal, doing it in ways that you are so excited that would be such a dream come true for you in your business. Follow that hunch, follow your inspiration. I don't believe in risks because I've proven to myself and I've seen my clients prove to themselves over and over that when we follow our desires, it's inevitable. It's inevitable that it happens. It's never a risk. It's only tons and tons and tons and tons of fun. So if you are interested in coming to play with other creative entrepreneurs who are doing the thing, following their desires, building life and business in the way that works for them, in their very unique, very own way. That's the path of least resistance way for them wherever they're at, but looking to be working towards 5 to 10K months and beyond, and having so much creative freedom, so much alignment, and most importantly, so much health and high energy because of the high level of self-care that you are committed to, then I have a couple places that you can do that. You can do that with me in a one-on-one private mentorship container where you get access to all of my courses, including Freedom Club, including Tell Stories That Sell, or you can come and play in the mastermind, which is Freedom Club, which is a 6-month mastermind. And you can also join Tell Stories That Sell, which shares all of the exact tools and strategies that really got me to my first 6-figure year: the money mindset, the content strategy, how to design offers that are really fun and really aligned, and how to attract clients that bring your dream business and vision to reality with ease by promoting your work on social media. So you can find out more about all of my work at withsarahmac.com. Please feel free to reach out to me in the DMs on Facebook or Instagram. And please leave the review, share this episode with anybody you know would be inspired and supported. And thank you so much for listening and for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye. For more inspirational content, head over to my website withsarahmac.com, and please support the show by liking, commenting, and subscribing.